Hi, welcome to my channel, KTB IOM. Today I just wanted to do a quick review, 1 year review of my Cheonjigung. So I bought this in May 2024. It arrived towards the end of May, so I've had it now a year. And I bought the £60 model, which came out at £78. And when I first got it, this was like, wow, it was too heavy for me. And I did say back in my original review for the Cheonji that this was my aspiration bow and that I wanted to be able to shoot this comfortably in the same way that I was shooting the other bows. So I'm happy to say that, after shooting it for a year now, this bow is just really comfortable. I don't feel overbowed, I don't feel overstretched. It shoots really well. I've had a few sort of modifications on the Jum Tong and the Jumpi. So when I first got it, I didn't change anything on the Jum Tong. It was very blocky, very square. And this wrap, the sort of honeycomb wrap, is quite hard. So it gave me a callus one week and then ripped the callus off the next. And then after a while, I started wearing gloves because I was like, wow, I don't want to go through that experience. It wasn't pleasant. And then a few months back, I took the jumpy off and I carved the handle a bit better, rounding the back a bit. So now it feels a lot more comfortable. I have more control, and I'm back shooting without a glove because it's still hard and I feel it, but it's more comfortable to my hand. I've still not quite decided what kind of shape fits me best. I like the shape on the YMG. It seems to be quite naturally good just from the off, as it's shaped rubber. But on these, foam block ones, I'm still not quite at that level yet. But so far, this one seems to be working now fine for me. So I've had this bow for a year. The birch bark has survived quite well. It's still got gorgeous colours and shades. It's a different kind of birch bark to some of the other bows, but I love, especially this part, I love the way the hues and colour just shows up there. But this birch bark is just absolutely fantastic. It's been done very, very well. And Cheonji know a thing or two about birch bark because Cheonji also make horn bows. So similar to Mujin. So Mujin and Cheonji are the two companies that make horn bows as well as carbon bows. Most of the other manufacturers are carbon bows, YMG, Jail, SMG, to an extent, Hanuil, Kaya. They just make carbon bows. In the case of Kaya, they also make sport bows, Olympic bows, etc. But Cheonji also is one of the few that makes horn bows. So they're transferring the skills from making horn bows to making carbon bows. And the bow has been fantastic. It's I was intimidated at first when I first got it, and I come out and I thought, oh no, I won't be able to shoot it today, or because I didn't feel strong enough. But after a few shots, it's always like, being able to shoot it, and over time, bit by bit, it's become, one of my more regular bows. To the point now that I'm using it as a warm-up for the YMG, because the YMG still is now my heaviest bow. This used to be my heaviest bow, the Cheonji. Now it's the YMG at 106. So I'm using the Cheonji as a warm-up, move on to shoot a bit with the YMG, and then go back to the Cheonji to sort of warm down and hopefully prevent injuries. And now I'm with the YMG at the same stage that I was with the Cheonji last year. It's my aspiration bow that I want to build into, but I'm happy to use the Cheonji for now. And the Cheonji is, yeah, I've been really impressed. It was a bit of an unknown quantity because I hadn't really seen anything about Cheonji other than a review by Armin Hermer on the hybrid biocomposite Cheonji. which is basically this model with a layer of horn on the back. This one doesn't have horn. This is just the basic KTA approved model. Like I said, I got it when I bought it. It was supposed to have like a patterned blue, white, black fabric with clouds and designs on it, but that was the old pattern, and the boya was changing the process, and the new bows are all coming out in with a kind of black carbon fiber wrap similar to the Majesty. So I asked whether they could do it in birch bark, as they they've got the skills and the materials available, and they did for an extra $20. So I mean, and they've done an absolute superb job on it, which I'm really happy. So it looks, to me, it looks the business, and it feels really good to shoot. It's been fairly accurate from the off, and I think that is down to the fact that the limbs, start off quite wide. They taper to the tips, to the Yangnam Goja, and then sort of they also taper down at the arrow pass, so you can see sort of how narrow it is there, and I think that also helps with the accuracy of the bow. There's not too much width. I think there's more width in the Mujin, which is at slightly lower poundage, but this bow has done well. So I'm going to do some shots with it, and before I finish up. Thank you. Shooting the Cheonji using 664 grain arrows, 300 grain points, 250 spine. Trying 300 spine, 646 grain arrows, 300 grain points. Try not to hit the arrows. And now let's try 200 spine. I don't know the weight. 100 grain points, so these are going to be quite light, and they've got veins. So let's see how I get on with the veins. But this bow just shoots out arrows out, and it doesn't really care what spine arrow you're using. Oh. Right, let's have a look. I think the 200 spine are just flying. So, okay. Ground's a bit uneven, so let's just shorten that. Okay. There's an old suitcase at the back of this bus, and the arrows have gone through straight to the back of the suitcase and pinned it in. So there's a bit of resistance to being pulled out. Oh, there we go. So you have to take them out of the suitcase first before you take them out of the bus. These are not too bad. Still got all the veins, so that's good. I tend to lose veins on some of the other bows when I make contact, but this one's so far so good. So yeah. So the Cheonji, really good bow, really nice. It's got the symbol here, the Samjok O, the three-legged crow. It's prevalent in Chinese, Japanese and Korean mythology. It's a sun symbol, sun bird, and it's supposed to bring good fortune. I think it's also been used as a banner for some of the Korean armies. And it's the same symbol that you'll see on the Alibo Segye bows. Cheonji means heaven and earth in Korean. And Segye, I think, means the world, or so I think it's related. It's same kind of sentiment, but just one's in Chinese and the other one's in Korean. There is a relationship, friendship between Alibo and Cheonji, I think, between the boyars, and that's why there's that link. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. I like it. But yeah, the Cheonji, really good bow. It's very affordable. When I bought it, it was $190 plus $20 for the birch bark plus shipping, and it came in, I think, about $250 shipped from South Korea, and you know, it's really good bow. And I bought this from Ace Archery, so yeah, you know, I'm really happy with it. I do enjoy shooting it. It is fairly accurate. The only modifications I've done to it is replace the original arrow pass with some ray skin, because the original arrow pass was a bit thin and wore out quickly, but the ray skin has been quite durable, and I've not really bothered sanding down the ray skin, so my arrows have suffered a bit. The fletching gets a bit weird, but after a while it just smooths out and it's fine. So and I think maybe the ray skin that I did get is already, it's not too rough. I've felt other ones that felt a lot rougher, but the one I've got feels like almost like that kind of plastic that you have in a car that's kind of slightly sort of bubbled up, or you know, textured. So it's been fine. So yeah, you know, if you get an opportunity, the Cheonji is a nice little bow. The only thing is that the sizes for the Cheonji are slightly smaller than some of the other companies. So this has a string 119 centimeters for the longbow version. Some of the other ones for the same kind of longbow version are 122, 123 centimeters, or 120.5. So it varies between manufacturer, between Boya. So this one is slightly smaller than some of the other ones, and it is the smallest bow that I have, but it packs a punch. So I'm really happy with it. I've really enjoyed the last year with it, this Bow-niversary, and I look forward to shooting it again, you know, in the coming years. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.